This might help. How to survive the government shutdown. Now, a lot of people now have been sent home and it's going into the second week. A lot of people aren't being paid. They're getting poorer and poorer. So we might have to start working out a few ways how to survive being a victim of the government shutdown. Now, there's things like you may have to go and buy 20-cent ramen noodles. Um, I mean, what do? You got minimum income, and you might have a family or a wife to support, and you got nothing there, and you're going to be losing your home, and everything's going downhill. All right, let's work out one strategy. You have credit cards right now, and a lot of you have probably maxed them out right now, so you can't afford to pay them back right now. So that's going to say you're up shit creek. Um, so whatever money you have left right now, you might need to invest in tin food. That will cut down on your refrigerator expenses, if possible. Buy powdered milk. That will cut down on your refrigerator expenses, where you may have to eventually turn off your fridge. To just save some money. What else did I work out? There might be things like you might have to limit yourself to that much tissue, toilet tissue. If need be, and I'm going to teach you a trick of the trade, and they may not like it, go for a visit to McDonald's or KFC or Burger King. Get a bit of toilet paper, put it in your pocket, and be on your way. I don't know if that's saying steal, but if you can't afford toilet paper, you'll have to get it from a corporation that can afford toilet paper. The next thing would be economizing on your gas, the fuel. If you might have to do some work at home, you might have to take up some of those home jobs where you get paid bugger all, but at least you get paid something while you're not working. And who's to say that you got a job when you go back? As for clothing, and washing and stuff, the expenses there, I really can only say is go to the public toilets and take a bag with you. Put it under that automatic dispenser, soap dispenser. You carry that out, and you most probably won't get the best washing, clothes wash, but at least you would be able to, wash your clothes to a degree with a bit of soap and a bit of odor, or sanitize your clothing. As for shoes for the kids and clothing right now, you might have to speak to grandmother and grandfather and just tell them that they've got some discounts going on at JCPenney for $2.99 and 99 cents at certain stores. Can you help us out on clothing and shoes or whatever? And you may have to visit a few JCPenney stores to be able to get a few cheaper deals on clothing. That's one option there. What else would I think? Milk, powder milk, as I said, if you've got money for that. Otherwise, just go into a normal cafe and just ask them, have they got a sachet of milk that you could have? Little thing like that. Well, better than nothing. You want to get basically a meal or a drink, at least. If you live near a casino, I know having no money is not going to help, but if you live near a casino, at least you can go in there and get some fountain drinks for free, and a free coffee. Most security guards don't mind you walking out with a free coffee or a fountain drink. That will probably be your weekend treat for the time being, or date night. What else would be there? Brushing teeth, if you don't have enough toothpaste. Well, you still can get a good brush with just basically a dry brush with your toothbrush. Don't use soap, it makes it taste awful. Can give you diarrhea later. How to survive the government shutdown, being the victim. Maybe you've got a few other ideas. Some people have said that they would rather steal a pack of gum, chewing gum, and get locked up in the jail system, for a day or two or whatever time period it is until you have to face the judge. At least you get 3, 4, 5 meals in that time period. That's what some people have said. Don't ask me who they were, because I won't tell you. Now, what else is there? Go around to a few houses, a few friends' houses, and make some good visits. Wear out your welcome, but at least you might get some crackers and cheese or something like that, or a beer, or at least you can say, can I take the crust home to the kids, if you've got any spare bread. There's been a lot of panhandlers for people coming into Walmart, actually watching people go and pick up items off the shelf, and if they look pretty expensive items, or the trolley looks pretty full, they're getting ideas that people have money. So there's a lot of panhandlers going in to the supermarkets and asking for money. A lot of people get rejected for $2 for gas, using that old story. So what I would suggest, if you're trying to look after your family, go in there, either speak to the store manager, tell him that you'll sweep out the back for 10 minutes or half an hour, and has he got any old tins that have got a bit of a bend in them, you really need to feed your family. And if that's not good, then you might have to ask someone in the supermarket, preferably not one in those wheel buggies, the motorised ones, but just ask a few people in there whether they can afford 50 cents for a tin of corn, or a tin of peas, and actually say, look, I'll go with you to the cash register, I need to feed my family, and if you can afford 50 cents for a tin of corn or something like that. You got to really humble yourself to try to survive in these times. What else would there be? Heating, depending on where you're living, may be a bad sort of option. You might need to burn newspapers or some. I don't know. I'm getting a bit out of hand here right now. But you need to plan also what you're going to do after the shutdown has finished, and if you do have a job afterwards, and how you're going to pick up again and get out of debt. If some people sell everything in life that they own and remain in debt, or they'll probably get out of debt. It's hard to know. So there's a few ideas as to how to survive. Also, places like charities and all that are pretty much overloaded with giving donations. I remember one time a charity that was pretty much overloaded, and I went to the charity, and what I got was a tin of baked beans and some tea bags. So I guess with the tea bags I can add a little bit of sugar and make myself some tea out of it. Tea and sugar. And you know, you can get the sugar virtually anywhere, from McDonald's to Burger King or whatever. Usually they have sweeteners and stuff like that. So, yeah, don't sort of like go to extreme, make yourself look, you know, like 100% homeless or poor. But, you know, sort of like, if you got a family of 10, well, you know, ask them all to walk in there and, you know, get some sugar. So, that's that. And the tea bags, that will give you sweet tea. You can always dip your tea bags, pull them out, then reuse them again to make another sweet tea later. I guess you could probably do that about 6 times and wear itself out in, but at least, you know, you could always get through it on some tea bags. As for the baked beans, geez, go and buy some herbal books, or go and read some books at the library, and find out what sort of grasses and all that are edible. You know, you'd be surprised what might be in your neighbourhood, but you know, that's somehow to survive. You know, would I do it? In extremes, I would. You know, I said to my wife, and I would say this to anyone else: if we were, if we were, you know, out of a job and we couldn't afford medical or anything like that, we'd end up keeping the home but not using it, if that makes sense. We would actually get a cheap RV, caravan, whatever, until the crisis was over, and live in that, where you don't have to pay your gas and electricity, and you use that money towards your, you know, keeping in your RV or your little camper or whatever you need to do to survive. Learn to go fishing is another thing too. If you live near the beach or near the waters area and you're really poor, you got to put in some time and go fishing, and catching worms and stuff like that, or cockroaches, and you know, keeping them alive and hooking them and throwing them in the water, and hopefully you'll get a catfish or whatever may be. Um, Maybe you've got some ideas that you think that you'd be able to survive on. Um, I really don't know. The poorer way of washing would be to have a face towel or face wash, or whatever they call it here in America, and just give yourself a dry sponge bath. Get someone behind you, your wife or your girlfriend or whatever, and get them to wash you down with water, you know, in a little bucket. That would save a lot of money also until you're back on your feet. I don't know about government swimming pools that are free to enter, to go, you know, basically to have your shower or bath, but you know, that might be another option too. Public areas, you don't want to spend too much time around public toilets, because then people get to know you and they know your habits. So yeah, that's that. Um, Maybe you might need to go where the homeless are and learn a few skills from the homeless people, how they survive, how they get around collecting cans or metals or you know, plastics, and taking them off to the recycle place and making a few dollars, even if it is, you know, $5 a day. Well, $5 a day is better than having no $5 at all. Um, so anyway, this has gone for 15 minutes, but it's actually, like, for people who are doing it tough, giving you a few ideas that are pretty humble. You won't get really caught out. People won't come and say, gee, look at that person. And if ever that did happen, you just say, yeah, I'm a victim of the government shutdown. You try to survive on nothing. But don't get into an argument and a punch up, because, you know, being a survivor isn't too bad. Um, anyway, I'm Mentalk TV with a few ideas of how to survive. As for getting to work, you know, you might have to. Well, you're not working, are you? Yeah. But you might have to find other forms of work, of even just mowing someone's lawn, or you know, going around houses and telling them that, you know, for a certain amount of dollars you can go to Home Depot, buy some plants, make their house look a little bit better. You'll do the labour as long as they pay for the, you know, the plants also. And that's like, you know, you tell them you work for $8 an hour or $12 an hour or whatever they can give you to survive, to be able to bring back some money to the family.